So today we read a really powerful bit of Amos, and there's some seriously strong language in here. And when we're not used to understanding the biblical language and we don't really get where God's talking about when he talks about all these place names, it can be a little bit confusing. But in a nutshell, God's talking about the people of Israel, the northern kingdom of Israel, and he's talking about Samaria, which is the capital of that kingdom. And he's really addressing the fact that they're worshipping idols and all the injustice that we talked about yesterday. And the main thing for today is that God is saying, look, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to bring that about. So it says, verse 7 of chapter 3, surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. And then it goes on and on and on about how God is ultimately going to bring destruction to Israel. And then at the end of chapter 4, verse 13, it says, he who forms the mountains, who creates the wind, who reveals his thoughts to mankind, who turns dawn to darkness and treads on the heights of the earth. The Lord God Almighty is his name. Who turns dawn to darkness and treads on the heights of the earth, who creates the wind and forms everything. I am telling you that destruction is coming for you, Israel. And this isn't the time to really wonder about whether Israel deserved that or not. I think we've addressed that question a lot over the period of the Bible in a year. This is really just to acknowledge that God is saying there is a judgment that is on his way for Israel. And ultimately what happened was about 30 years later, that was fulfilled. So Samaria, the capital of Israel, was destroyed. The northern 10 tribes, who are the people that lived in that particular area, were taken off into exile and they never came back. And really, that was the end of the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, Judah carries on for a while, but the point is, God fulfilled what he promised. And it seems like none of the people of Israel took these words very seriously at all. And the same is true for us in the time that we live in. We know that the New Testament clearly speaks of a second coming of Jesus, that one day he's coming back, and that when he comes back, he's coming to judge the whole world. And this isn't for us to get nervous or be afraid, although probably, it is going to be a bit scary. This is for us to be confident that we are his people and that he's coming back not just to judge, but to draw us into his presence for good. And that's something that we can look forward to and enjoy. But let's recognize that God has promised a judgment, and the judgment at some point is going to happen. As much as we wonder about when it is and what the date on the calendar is, let's just acknowledge the fact that it will and live in the light of that, not in a fearful way, because Jesus is our righteousness. We need not fear in that respect, but just knowing what's going to happen.